Picture this. You wake up on January 1st, 2025, groggy from a late-night binge of one more episode, and in that bleary moment, a perfectly tuned vibration on your wrist nudges you awake, flashes a soft amber sunrise animation onto a micro LED display, analyzes your heart rate variability, hydration level, and melatonin clearance curve, then whispers, "Okay," vibrates, that your optimal get-up window is exactly 92 seconds away, while simultaneously nudging your smart blinds to open 1/3, triggering your espresso machine to start preheating, and pushing an alert to your phone that the overnight crypto dip has rebounded, all before you'd even opened your eyes. And that jaw-dropping scenario is no sci-fi fever dream, but the new daily reality promised by the 5 most advanced smartwatches launching in 2025, each vying to plant a tiny, hyper-intelligent command center right on your wrist. So I spent an obsessive 31-day sprint, multiple continents, 12 firmware updates, a heat map of biometric data, and more coffee than is medically advisable to test torture, and ultimately crown which of these futuristic timepieces will actually revolutionize your life. And I'm taking you through that entire roller coaster in one relentless, no-breath paragraph that grabs you with a hook, plots our shared pain, marches through a data-flooded exploration, slams into a heart-pounding climax, and lands with a crystal-clear verdict you can act on tonight. Because choosing wrong in 2025 means strapping a $700 paperweight to your arm, while choosing right means unlocking new time, health, and even prosperity you never thought possible. The problem we face is that spec sheets read like alien calculus. Dual-frequency GNSS, bioimpedance spectroscopy, photoplethysmographic variability, and marketing videos blur into slow-mo joggers on sunlit bridges, so ordinary consumers drown in hype, can't tell placebo from transformative, and end up buying based on whichever influencer has prettier B-roll, when what really matters is how each watch feels at 2 a. We even opened your eyes, and that jaw-dropping scenario is no sci-fi fever dream, but the new daily reality promised by the 5 most advanced smartwatches launching in 2025, each vying to plant a tiny, hyper-intelligent command center right on your wrist. So I spent an obsessive 31-day sprint, multiple continents, 12 firmware updates, a heat map of biometric data, and more coffee than is medically advisable to test torture, and ultimately crown which of these futuristic timepieces will actually revolutionize your life. And I'm taking you through that entire roller coaster in one relentless, no-breath paragraph that grabs you with a hook, plots our shared pain, marches through a data-flooded exploration, slams into a heart-pounding climax, and lands with a crystal-clear verdict you can act on tonight. Because choosing wrong in 2025 means strapping a $700 paperweight to your arm, while choosing right means unlocking new time, health, and even prosperity you never thought possible. The problem we face is that spec sheets read like alien calculus. Dual-frequency GNSS, bioimpedance spectroscopy, photoplethysmographic variability, and marketing videos blur into slow-mo joggers on sunlit bridges, so ordinary consumers drown in hype, can't tell placebo from transformative, and end up buying based on whichever influencer has prettier B-roll, when what really matters is how each watch feels at 2 a.m. When your kid's cough triggers a blood oxygen alert, or how quickly it locks GPS in a concrete canyon when you are late for a meeting, you need brutal lived-in intel, not showroom fluff. With that mission laser-etched on my calendar, the exploration stage saw me order prototypes or final retail units of the headliners: Apple Watch Series 10 Pro, Samsung Galaxy Watch X, Ultra Garmin Bioactive 7, OnePlus Orbit S, and the budget but ambitious Amazfit Nova HR Plus, plus 2 Dark Horse Kickstarter models. Spoiler: one failed to boot, the other arrived half-baked and promptly died in a rainstorm. And for 31 days, I wore at least 3 watches simultaneously, sometimes 5, looking like a cyberpunk Mr. T collecting 2.1 million heartbeats. 147 miles of GPS tracks, 38 hours of phone-free music, 61 contactless payments, and zero sympathy from TSA agents. Every watch faced identical trials. Sunrise cortisol session, heart rate recovery after breath work, sprint interval GPS precision, overnight SpO2 monitoring, 90-minute indoor HIIT with sweat-induced optical sensor fogging, cold coil battery stress test at 14-degree NFC payment in a rural convenience store with spotty cell service, voice assistant latency while jogging with 20 km/h wind noise and smart home command reliability across HomeKit Smart. Things and Matter. They also confronted my sanity tests, like how many taps to start a timer when your hands are covered in flour, or how quickly you can silence an alarm in a dark room without waking the baby. The development arc unfolded in surprise upsets. The Amazfit Nova HR Plus at 179 shocked me with a true 5-day battery under heavy GPS load, class-leading HR accuracy within 3 BPM of a polar chest strap, and a Zep OS 4.0 update that now predicts next-day mood with 72% accuracy by blending micromotion and barometric data. Yet its plastic bezel scratched on day 3, its microphone cut out in drizzle, and the companion app pushed pushy upgrade ads. OnePlus Orbit S, retailing at $349, ran a refined Wear OS 5 build so smooth it felt like pixel butter, with Google Gemini Nano whispering contextual voice replies offline. And its sapphire-topped display refused to scuff even when I skidded it across pumice rock during a canyon hike. But the haptic motor felt buzzy, speaker volume was tinny above 50% speedrun podcasts, and its AI coach insisted my max heart rate is 192, when lab tests say 179. Garmin Bioactive 7, 599, flexed a new dual-power MIP AMOLED hybrid that sipped juice so gently I got 14 full days even with constant map navigation, and its acute load algorithm kept me from overtraining by predicting injury risk sooner than my physiotherapist. Yet its UI still feels like 2012 spreadsheets, and there's zero third-party app spark. Samsung Galaxy Watch X Ultra, $6,999, delivered the first Wear OS watch with on-device generative vision. I could point its rotating bezel-framed camera at food and get macronutrient breakdown, or at a plant and get watering advice. Plus, it buzzed my wrist at 3 a.m. mid-week after detecting arrhythmic microbeats and suggested magnesium intake. Doctor confirmed mild electrolyte imbalance next morning. But its 48-hour battery died after 32 heavy-use hours, and its new curved sensor array hates tattoos. Apple Watch Series 10 Pro, $799, arrived with a graphene-laminated micro-LED panel brighter than shame at 3,000 nits, an Apple Silicon neural engine that typed my grocery list in mid-air when my hands were wet, and the new neural sleep staged breathing algorithm flagged potential apnea episodes I didn't know I had, yet the battery eked out 42 hours at best, and the overhauled haptic crown sometimes misregistered glove twists. Though Apple's health ecosystem remains unrivaled. My cardiologist received an automatic PDF of HRV trends before I could even book an appointment. The climax punched in on the final Saturday. I orchestrated a brutal 24-hour marathon of life, combining red-eye travel, 3 client meetings, 2 workouts, a toddler meltdown, a midnight grocery run, and a surprise thunderstorm, rating which watch rescued me most. Midday, the Apple alerted low blood oxygen as cabin pressure dipped on the flight. But Garmin was first to obtain GPS lock outside the airport. OnePlus pulled up a Spanish phrase when my taxi driver spoke zero English. Galaxy's AI vision scanned a flickering highway billboard to reroute me when Google Maps froze. And Amazfit ironically kept beating at 32% battery when Apple and Samsung gasped for power-saving mode. By 23:59, the data declared a tie for raw, life-changing potential. Series 10 Pro leads in integrated health and seamless ecosystem, but stumbles on battery, while Galaxy X Ultra wins for futuristic AI and camera-assisted context, but loses a point on endurance. Garmin rules athletes and battery champs, OnePlus nails balanced value and offline voice, and a Amazfit demolishes budget expectations. In the conclusion, I carve a head-to-head matrix. If you re an Apple user wanting medical-grade alerts and AR gesture texting, pick Series 10 Pro despite nightly charging. Android power users craving sci-fi object recognition and health risk prediction, jump on Galaxy Watch X Ultra. Endurance athletes needing week-long juice and advanced metrics. Bioactive 7 is your ride or die. Cost-conscious students who still want legit metrics. A Amazfit Nova HR Plus stays undefeated. Minimalists who want Google Voice Smarts without luxury price tag. Orbit S is sweet spot. Now here's your call to action. Comment the metric that matters most. Battery, AI coaching, medical alerts, or price. Then test whichever watch tops that column. Share your first week stats with our TechWave 65 crew, and together, we'll build the most data-driven smartwatch leaderboard on the internet. Smash the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more tech challenges, future experiments, and real talk from TechWave 65.